I've actually gotten pretty good at allowing things. Asking and is given, whatever. So I allow. Things come very easily to me. What I'd like you to do is write a book about the art of sticking around. Because I have a little bit more trouble with, let's take money, for example. I attract all kinds of money.
Say more about what you mean about sticking around.
Well, as I say, I make a lot of money. I attract it. It flows into my experience abundantly. And then it also leaves my experience abundantly.
That's what it's for. Air doesn't stick around either.
Well, I'd like it to stick around a little bit so I can do something with it. We want the air to stick around so we can breathe it for a moment.
But what about the air that's sticking around inside of you? You want it to stick around? Or in and out, in and out,
okay.
in and out, in and out.
I've thought of that. I've thought of that.
But
then I also think, wow, there's a lot of momentum with it going out and going out and going out, and not me being able to do the things that I want to do.
It can't go out faster than it comes in. Well, it can up to your credit limit, but that's really limiting. In and out, in and out, in and out. And if you're taking pleasure in the out, then you'll take pleasure in the in. In and out. In and out.
But I talk with my co-creative circle about this, and it almost gets to the point where I feel I self-sabotage.
How so?
Because I will amass, like in the last 6 months, $1 million, and invested it, and it went poof. I lost it all.
But what you didn't lose is your ability to manifest another.
That's true. That's what I say. I manifest.
That air is gone too. Is there more?
They're just things that I specifically would like to have done differently with that money than I did.
Well, that'll get you every time.
How?
Because when you feel regret, you're not in the receiving mode.
And then I beat myself up about it. What is that?
And when you beat yourself up, you're not in the receiving mode.
Step one
you're
again?
not in the receiving mode. It's like breathing it in, breathing it out, and then holding your breath. I had air. I squandered it. I regret having let that air out because now it's gone. I refuse to let any more in because I'm so ashamed that I let it out. It isn't different. It isn't different except that you have flawed premises, almost everybody does, about how it comes to you, because it's hard for you to accept that it is as simple as asking for it and then allowing it, and then it comes. And the way you've come to allow it is you sacrifice and you work hard. This is the way you justify your allowing. But then there's limits on how much you can let in, because there are limits about how much time you have or how much whatever belief you have in whatever. And so you don't let it flow in the way that it could naturally. One of the things that you're overlooking, and we want to remind you about it right now, is that in that process of living and asking and allowing, you developed a vibrational currency that is always there with you, because you can't go back. There's no going back. There's no regression. There's only life causing you to continue to ask, and then to whatever degree you allow what you've asked for to come. But once you've learned, or once you have allowed something to come to you, you are vibrationally changed, and you can never go back from that. And so your vibrational currency, or your ability to allow, once you've allowed it, you're there, and you'll keep moving forward into more and more and more and more and more of that. But when you stop to take score and to make statements such as, I let it go and now it's gone and I don't know when it can come back or how it will come back, that attention to that absence of what you want holds you in a vibrational stance that doesn't let it come back, not right now, while you're holding your breath. As soon as you forget, or as soon as you sleep, as soon as you stop holding your breath, in other words, have you ever had a child, or has it ever been you? Have you ever decided that you would have you ever seen anybody hold their breath to get what they want? Well, you can just walk away. It's going to be all right. You can just walk away, because they're going to pass out and then they're going to start breathing again. You can throw all the fits you want about what's not coming, but eventually you have to sleep. And when you sleep, your negative momentum will subside. And when you wake up, you've got a chance of not picking it up and starting it again, unless you have these beliefs that cause you to continue to reactivate that.
But see, here's my question then. I actually don't have resistance to allowing things in. I launch these rockets of desire. Things manifest. They come into my experience.
And what are we talking about here?
Because
Were you
here's
making
my
all that
question.
stuff up?
Because does then my vibration change for my desire? Because once it's manifested, it's no longer important to me, and then it changes, and then it's
Flawed
going,
premise.
Oh, that was good, and then it
Flawed
went.
premise. You know the answer to that. Do you still want it or not?
Well, because I want a different answer.
The answer you want is, you're doing it perfectly. Just keep doing it that way, and it will turn out just the way you want it. That's not the answer that we want to give you. That's the answer you want to hear. The answer that we want to give you is, you can't get there from there. You cannot continue to focus upon the absence of something that you want and let it in. Because the presence of what you want and the absence of what you want are two very different frequencies. So you've got to decide which one are you going to focus on. And most humans say, well, I'm going to be a realist. I'm going to focus on reality. And the reality of it is that it's not here, and that's where I'm going to focus. And we say, then you'll continue to hold what you want away from you. And that's why we want to get your attention upon this vibrational reality, the corn in the ground. We want you to know about that so that you'll at least stop saying it isn't here and begin saying it's on the way. You could even say, I can't see it yet. I just trust it's on the way. I don't know where it's going to come from or when it's going to get here, who's going to bring it or how it's going to come. But I do know what it is and why I want it, and I do believe that it is coming. And if that was the only philosophy you held, everything that you would ever want would come seamlessly and streamingly and relatively quickly into your experience. But most of you, we love you so much, you are too smart. You know too much. You take score of so many things, and you know what's holding you up more than everything else put together is your attention to what is manifested. We want you to give your attention to what is created and what is vibrational and what is coming. You want to focus on what is manifested. And we want to draw to your attention that everything starts in this vibrational ethers and then becomes a thought and then becomes an idea that's a stronger thought and then becomes a rendezvous and then becomes things. And so this turning thoughts to things is what you came here about. That's why you are here in these physical bodies. You're here as manifestors in this leading edge, time and place. So as these manifestations are in the process of becoming, when you tune yourself to the subtleties of the vibration, then you get to witness the unfolding of them. You get to notice the things that are happening. You begin to notice the good timing that is unfolding. You can have such a good time with all of that. And then when it manifests, as it must, then there's that excitement of getting to witness it with all of your physical senses too. But if you need to see it, if it has to already be, that's like saying, oh yeah, I'll go on vacation with you, provided we can just be there, because I don't want to have to go there. Don't make me go. I don't want to go. I don't want to spend all that time going. I just want to be there. And we say, really, it's the journey that it's all about. You really do want to go there. Nope, I don't want to go. I just want to be there. Just give me the money and give it to me now. I don't want to have to do the stuff that makes it come. I don't even want to focus. I just want the money. I want the money now. And we're making a little fun of you because we understand how delicious manifestations are. We do. We want the manifestations for you, and we promise you they are coming. But until you begin enjoying the journey, you've missed the point. Because we know for sure that if you could think of something and have it, the first 100 or so of those experiences, you'd take great delight in. You'd become quite famous too. Just think it, boom, there it is. But after a little while, you would grow really bored of no journey. You see, while you're moving through the contrast, you're not coming to your awareness of exactly what you want instantaneously. Ooh, the desire wasn't instant. It was gradual too. So the process of creating is this gradual process of creating the desire and then allowing the desire that you've created to become a manifestation. But you think that now you've got the idea of what you want, that the idea was instant and so the manifestation should be too. We say, oh no, the idea was a long time in coming too. It's just this delicious process of turning thoughts to things.
Right, it's not in the creation, it's in the creating.
The creating is what it's all about. It is so delicious to sift and sort through life and know what you don't want and know what you do want and know what you don't want and know what you do want, and then launch this rock of desire that we've conjured for you, this vibrational reality. We acknowledge it with the waving of Esther's arm. We named it the vortex. We wrote 2 books about it because we want so much for you to accept this vibrational reality that you can't see or hear or smell or taste or touch. It exists, and it's the beginning, not the beginning, it's the middle really, because life was the beginning of it. But you've created this vibrational reality that will continue to evolve and will continue to surprise and delight you and please you. It's just ongoing, never ending. This is what living happily ever after is about. So as you put these components into this vortex, and the law of attraction has gathered them together, and we are making this circular motion because cooperative components are being gathered in this vortex. It's sort of like the way your scientists understand black holes. The black hole is this spinning environment that gathers up components, and before long a reality that can be witnessed on a telescope appears. So here is your vortex, and it's gathering the cooperative components, and as it is, the more tuned you are to the subtleties of it, then the more pleasure you receive early on from it. And so as you're receiving the pleasure of knowing its existence, even though you can't see it, and even though others can't see it, but you have knowledge because you understand that law of attraction is abundant. You understand that you are the creator of your own reality. You understand that as you have defined it and asked for it, that now it is coming. And so you're standing in readiness for it. And when you stand in readiness for it, that's what we are calling the receiving mode. When you stand in readiness for it, you get so you can tune yourself to the subtlety of it. When Jerry made his transition, Esther's beloved croaked a few years ago. We try to be disrespectful of death since there isn't any. And the first thing that she wanted to say about her conversations with him now is that they are very subtle. When he was in the room, they could holler through the house to each other. In other words, there's nothing subtle about seeing and hearing and smelling and tasting and touching. That's not subtle. That's not subtle. That's using all of your physical senses, and you get addicted to that. That's what you want. You want vivid. You want loud. You want obvious. We like you so much because you are lazy. That's why you want obvious. But when you tune yourself to subtleties, then you can hear. It's like becoming a sophisticated listener of magnificent music. And as you are, then you want systems that help you to hear it more. And you listen with greater clarity for things that at first you might not have been listening for. So that the music satisfies you at deeper and deeper and deeper levels because you train yourself to hear at deeper and deeper and deeper levels. It's like becoming a connoisseur of food or of wine, where at first it just kind of tasted not so good. But then you trained yourself to taste for the subtleties of it, and you learned what combinations went well together, and your palate began to become sophisticated enough that you could appreciate it in new ways, because everybody doesn't taste exactly the same way. You understand what we're getting at? And so you want to train your ability to feel. You want to listen for those subtleties, and you want to take pleasure in the most subtle beginnings of the unfoldings of what you want. And so once you begin listening, then you don't miss things. Then things that used to not be obvious to you are obvious to you. You can feel that you're on the path. You can feel when things begin working. You can tell by the swirl of cooperative components that you find around you. And you begin to enjoy every evolutionary step of yourself in the process of the evolution of your desires. So then you don't just want it to be loud and obvious. You like the subtleties of it, because when you get so that you can experience the subtleties of things, you can enjoy them so much longer. It's like savoring something really good that you want to stay in your mouth for a really long time. And so you don't chew it quite so fast and quite so hard. It's harder to do with ice cream than a caramel. You see what we're getting at? In other words, you just want to be the subtle devourers of the deliciousness of the life experience. Make it last longer. Make it last longer. And you say, are you out of your mind, Abraham? I don't want the journey to last longer. I want the destination to get here quicker. And then we say, then you've missed the point of this whole story.